Welcome back. Shares of Tesla are up 4% ahead of its annual shareholders meeting. CEO Elon Musk tweeting that he is set to win shareholders' approval for his plans to move the company's legal home to Texas, as well as for his 2018 $56 billion pay package. But as CNBC.com's Laura Kolodny points out, ultimately the courts will have the last say on Musk's pay, and nothing will be set in stone today. My next guest is a longtime Tesla shareholder. She voted yes to the pay package and the move to Texas, and she says today is a great day to be a Tesla bull. Let's bring in Nancy Tengler, CEO and CIO of Laffer Tengler Investments. Nancy, I don't even know where to start with this one. Is it true that this isn't final, that the Delaware court might have the last say?
Yes, it is. But I think symbolically, it's very important. If you have courts second guessing the boards of directors, then, we could be in an environment where, they come back, the courts come back and say that dividend payment is too big, that share buyback is not justified. And so the bone should be picked with the board, but he delivered on all of the initiatives and the financial targets. And so for most Americans, and that's why I think you saw the individual investors really pull this over the line. For most Americans, a deal is a deal. And I think that's an important message to just reinforce at this time.
I think that's right. I mean, the fact that it seemed ludicrous at the time and he achieved it is just, it's wonderful. It's like that's the whole point of sort of putting all of your chips on this. But I'm trying to think back to reasons why we would think this wouldn't be legitimate. Is it simply the size of it? I mean, is it the idea that maybe there are conflicts of interest with the board, or that there's things we know now that we didn't know then? I mean, what to you would legitimately make you pause before saying, okay, I'd definitely be a yes?
Well, I think one of the things that was cited was that I gave too much control to one shareholder. But that sort of fails in the face of the dual voting shares that you have at Meta and Google. Right. So the only way that investors could sort of make their opinion known was to vote with their feet, which is what investors did when Mark Zuckerberg pivoted to the metaverse. And so I do think that, yes, are there conflicts on that board? I mean, less than there used to be. So I think that's important. But I think that's where the question lies, not is the pay too much? And that's what to me was the most important issue. We don't second guess athlete pay. I mean, LeBron James has made almost, $500 million since his career in the NBA. Is that too much? Is it not enough? I mean, you leave it to the market to make that decision. And shareholders have made a lot of money. I think Elon Musk is more entertaining than the NBA, and he's made his investors a lot of money.
Listen, I defer a lot to entrepreneurs because I don't want to have to start Tesla. It sounds like a total pain, and I don't want to have to go create however many jobs he did. I don't want to have to increase market value from 59 to 650 billion. I don't want to have to create a revenue mouse of 175. I mean, it's insane that he actually went out and did this. So I guess the question, and it was known to shareholders all along. I mean, the targets were public. And so if you hit, they're in the stock. It's not like this fell out of the sky and people said, wow, we just can't believe this. So what do you think happens now? With even that said, this was possibly an overhang on the stock. Where are we now?
Yeah, well, I think we're back to fundamentals. I mean, I also just want to point out, this is a guy who doesn't take a salary or a bonus. So the options will be dilutive if the court ratifies it. They will continue to buy back shares. It's a company where, the last 2 years of earnings have been abysmal. So earnings growth is expected to reaccelerate next year and the following year. Free cash flow is expected to double from this year to next. So I think you pay attention to the fundamentals. It trades as an EV company. As you know, our view is that it's much more than that. The mega battery pack division is electric utility grade batteries. That's growing faster and is more profitable. You've got AI, you've got the autonomous initiatives. And now it seems those will all stay under Tesla. And that's why the stock is acting with relief today.
No, I think the bigger problem for Tesla is not Elon Musk's pay or himself. I think it's competition, honestly, from China and elsewhere. And that's something they're going to have to face down. But if they can pull all the levers you name, they'll be all right. Nancy, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Kelly.
Nancy Tengler.